Welcome back to the Stumble Bumps podcast. I'm here in New York City. This is the Twisted G. Over here on the left is what's your name again? It's been a while.
Smitty Smitty, you dipshit.
I don't know this guy.
I don't know that guy. He changed. We had one successful podcast, and look, the fame gone to his head.
I'm
Wearing
here.
sunglasses
I'm on.
inside. He moved to a bigger city.
I'm in. I'm in the Empire State Building. I'm bulling, going hard. Player hating.
Yeah, he just had one nice comment, and look what happened.
What was that, dude? Your camera just like sped up and then like your audio like had this okay, that was so weird. I hope that was recorded. If you'll know what I mean if you see that. That was so fucking weird. Ah! I said the F word. Screw it. We're going
I
with it.
I think I said dipshit as my third word. So
Screw it. We're too early to actually get any kind of strike.
yeah, like I said, let's just piss people off first, and then we'll change.
No, you said you wanted to piss on people because you're a big R. Kelly fan.
You know that too, but I also like consent.
Wait a minute. Are you the
Consent's
one?
hot to me.
Hang on a minute. No, what's the song? Yeah, no, you were. You're the one that you showed me the song, the consent song, whatever, from the one dude. Oh, what's his name?
I
Oh,
don't
he
even
makes the
remember
it's the
this.
Louis C.K. Like he makes like a song about Louis C.K. and he's like,
Oh, you talking about Froggy Fresh, freaking Tyler? What is Tyler's?
oh, I'm looking it up. It's such a
You're
great
talking
one.
about Krispy Kreme, Froggy Fresh. Tyler. He's a little short guy, long hair, kind of like country songs, right? Or
It's
hip hop,
something. No, he would like do like piano. Tyler Cassidy, Louis C.K.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
showed you the old videos of him when he was just at
oh,
his
it's
like
not picking that
grandma's
up.
house playing the
Okay, it's not
piano.
gonna pick that up unless maybe I'm in front of it. Okay, no, it's not. It's hilarious. If you guys ever want to watch like some really great comedy on YouTube, that's classic. Check out Tyler Cassidy. Amazing.
And most people know Tyler Cassidy. That's probably the most famous name we brought up.
I don't know. Our next topic. So was 9/11 an inside job?
I think so. From the inside out, I think we it was all planned out on the American side, and we just found foreign actors to carry it out. I don't
I
think there
wasn't
was any.
alive.
I I don't think there was any external like bombs or anything else to make the buildings collapse. I literally they just paid some
Well,
dudes to
I will say the
fly
Building
the
7 incident kind of was suspicious to me because like that one, like they said, like the debris kept falling down and like it caused fire in there, and it like just apparently the water lines just didn't work in that building. That's a little
yeah.
suspicious. I will say that part.
There's also just like a lot of weird property transfers of these buildings that got hit and a lot of weird other money things that happened just like months or weeks before the attack. Like
So I wasn't alive at the time.
they did some things on paperwork to, that wasn't on paper like beforehand. Like, hey, if our building was ever subject to an act on terror, now we get paid out on insurance. And then like a month later, 9/11 happened.
Well, I don't know. Like to be like,
Like,
and I don't know. Like as I said, I wasn't alive at the time, so I don't
and
know if I
also,
could
I'm
say
like,
that it
I'm
was
not
a
read
inside
up on
job or
this
not.
subject in
And
a
I can't even
while,
finish my
so
sentence
I'm
here, you
getting shit
motherfucker.
wrong.
You're over talking me as I'm trying to keep on talking.
Yeah, we're bums.
I leave. Oh, I could just end the recording. Mm, I could. You can forget. I'm the fucking monkey with a gun here. Okay?
But if I leave the call, isn't that just me leave and then they're recording technically?
No,
I mean,
because
yeah,
you're
you
still
can
tied
still
to
sit
Stone
there and
Bums. I can pull my
record.
pants down and do all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, but I'd be like, and I'm just out of here.
I
Like
could. I
I
could
love
just.
that.
You could be like, I'm out of here, and then my pants come down.
Yeah, I don't know who
Y'all
gave
gonna
you
sit
the
here and watch
keys
a
to this
23
shit.
year old drink a fucking twisted tea shirtless.
And then go work out and make a sandwich.
Some
You have you seen
mustard.
those videos of like the dude who's like he like announces like some weird alcohol challenge, and then he completes the challenge, but he's all fucked up in like a Batman costume, listening to
No,
like some '80s hard rock, and then
no,
it just cuts to him working the fuck out, and then it gets cuts again after him working out for a minute, making some gross ass fucking meal, and he fucking eats it all trashed. It's hilarious.
no. But we also need to watch how much we're dropping the freaking F bomb here, dude. You dropped the F bomb like 4 times in 30 seconds.
Well,
Jesus.
it was a cool video.
Like,
We're past the time anyway.
yeah, but there is like a certain point, if you do it too much.
He was trashed.
Yeah, you already sound like you are. Didn't you just wake up?
Yeah. I woke up, got freshly baked, and now I'm here. Hello.
Man, didn't he let me finish talking about what I think happened during 9/11? Completely
You
interrupted
said you
my
weren't
thing.
alive.
Yeah, but you wouldn't even let me finish my thing. You were just like, "Oh yeah, he wasn't alive, so fuck what he has to say, guys. I'm still here." Like
Yeah.
that actually did piss me off a bit there. I was in the middle of a point, and you were just like, "Oh yeah, screw him." But no, like it was like I will say this, like yeah, technically fucking the gas and all that stuff couldn't melt steel beams and all that, but the heat of it could like alter it to where it could have like started, being weaker and all the buildings could have collapsed then. That was like one of the biggest things that I did kind of look into because people were always like, fire doesn't melt steel beams. It doesn't matter, like blah blah. But it's like it can still like alter its what you might call it molecular level or whatever. And literally the only thing I have with that is suspicious beyond a doubt is that like building 7 aspect where there was like they turned off the water stuff and all that. Like that was really all I had to kind of say, but I didn't really get to say it, so that kind of fucked me there. Go ahead and talk, dude. If I'm not talking, you can talk. Now you're just going to be like, "Oh, is he gonna yell at me again? I'm Smitty. I'm so
No, I
innocent."
didn't want to anger you again. I don't care if you yell at me. We yell at
I'm
each
gonna
other all
bitch
the
smack
fucking
this man
time.
when I
What the
see
fuck
him
you
again.
mean?
I'm gonna bitch smack him the next time I see him. My pecker.
uh, that was just also a joke. I'm like, yeah, I can just now do a
Yeah,
long
no, I
awkward
know
pause.
that you were doing it on purpose, and that's what pissed me off. I'm just
Sorry, I
happy your mic
wasn't
cuts out
allowed.
when you do your wicked laugh, so it like takes away from it all.
Yeah, sorry. It was just, I think you're just getting a lot of residual asshole buildup from the playtest from yesterday.
Oh, I'm getting. I'm gonna throw. I'm getting an Uber. That's it. Where's it at?
Hey, about time you're coming to see me.
Oh, I'm coming to see you, buddy. Where's my fucking 12 gauge? It's a 20 gauge. Why did I say 12? Move my mic away from my face. All right, no, but I
But
do want to bring up more topics here, if you were cool with that. Or wait, you want to talk about the playtest? My bad.
yeah, um, I expected more people because it seemed like when I was flipping through that Discord chat, there was a lot of activity. So I'm like, okay, this is a pretty active game night. I get there, and counting me, there's 4 of us. One dude brought a whole bag of board games. The other dude showed up late and he brought something, but he left it in his car. And I brought my prototype, which was stated. And then the other dude, he stated it as well. But I just don't know why you would bring Gloomhaven to a fucking board game night at a store that you it seemed like only been to once.
What is
Gloomhaven might as
Gloomhaven?
well it might as well be Twilight, but more fantasy and cooperative.
Hmm. So yeah,
Like
I don't think I've ever heard of
you're
it.
supposed to you're supposed to select a campaign and play out that whole campaign, and that campaign has hours of playtime.
Yeah, I
And
don't know if I want
then
a campaign. I kind of
you're
like the
supposed to build
sandbox
up a
feeling of Twilight.
character and retire that character to get a better character, like a whole bunch of fucking shit. Why would you bring this?
That's why I liked Twilight because like Twilight feels more like a sandbox game. You know what I mean? Like
It
there
is,
is no
but
set.
it takes yeah,
Like that's all I say there. Like there's no set thing to do. It's just kind of like, what do you feel like doing this time?
yeah. So our one campaign, which was the tutorial campaign, I think we started it at it took like almost 2 hours. And that's just the tutorial campaign. Like I get it, that's like a regular board game thing, but we went through like two rooms. We started in a room with monsters, we went to another room with monsters, and then there was the big room with the loot.
Hmm.
And that took like 2 hours. And I don't like cooperation, so I barely had any fun.
You really don't, because
Yeah,
anytime like we play
I was
Twilight,
pulling my weight and doing my job, but if they would have asked me if I had fun, I would have said the mechanics were interesting, but I really hate the co-op. So no.
well, that makes sense with you, because anytime we play Twilight, like even though we have the option to like try to do like alliances and stuff, like you never really follow one. The only like kind of thing that you'll do with it is like you just strategically think like, do I want to piss him off? Because it's like that's the only like strategy you have. I feel like when it comes down to like any kind of cooperation, like keep him
In a
happy
board
or
game, yes.
like
In a
that.
board game, yes. I have to tag it like that because people, if I don't, they'd be like, "How does this dude even work as a team?" I'm like, in real life, I do cooperate.
Oh no, he does
That's why.
not. He is horrible. You should have seen him try to teach me how to do stuff. He literally gave me a angle grinder, a 90 angle grinder, and he was like, "Yeah, man, go denib those parts." I just looked him straight in the face, like, "The fuck's a nib?"
I showed you.
Yeah, after like eight
I
asks.
totally showed you. After you said that, I showed you. I know I did.
I don't remember that. That's
Because I
when
also
the alcohol kicked in.
because I also showed you when you actually get the angle grinder itself, the DeWalt powered one had to do long strokes instead of the short little scratchy ones that scratch up the part.
I don't know. I just had to say something to screw with you.
Like I'm a good teacher,
You know what
man.
though? He didn't teach. You didn't teach. Oh, I gotta make up a name. So, but you're gonna know who I'm talking about when I say it. uh, I was gonna say TJ or whatever. Fucking when I went to go through that skeleton in the hopper, and I was like, I got this, and he fucking stuck his hand under it as I like yanked it, and I sliced his hand wide open.
To be fair, I think TJ started
Right as I
uh,
did. Literally, he
huh.
was in the orientation with me.
Wait, was that dipshit?
Yeah.
I don't
Well, he was
remember
one of
very
the
much.
two dipshits, because you remember they were brothers.
No. And to be fair, that is a simple job, and I can just tell by the look on some people's faces if they're actually here to do this simple job. You do not have to be smart at all to do what we were doing in takeoff. You
No.
could have
That's
a
why I hate
bullet
it.
through your skull and still have your basic motor functions
I mean,
and still do takeoff.
we got a guy that can't read, but for every bit of him is like one of the greatest workers you'll ever meet, because he just has a really great ethic on him. But it's just that like
Yeah,
it's the kind of area for a guy like him. I mean, it's simple.
yeah.
All he has to
So
do is
if
just
you
look at the
don't
part and be
know if
like that.
you're having something and you know it's going to go over there because you see other ones in there and it's within eyesight. It's not like it was way over there. It was literally like right next to it, you know?
Yeah,
And
I
I
mean,
think I direct you guys like this is going to go in there and it's light. So just throw it in there.
dude, one of the dumbest
So,
things too is like for some reason this company that we're talking about, they won't remember like the way that we used to do things for some reason. And then like when they get a couple months or like a year later after like somebody had an established system and they like moved out of that area or they got fired or something or they left to go get another job, uh, they'll just like forget the entire system that person had, and they'll make it so stupid and just backlogged and lost. Like when Smitty was doing the job, he had like lanes set up to go to certain areas, and he figured out like a really good way of making sure like this job went with this job because this was like a multi-part job or whatever. But now, dude, if you look at the area, it's just it's a mess. Everything's everywhere. You got tables that have things that go to multiple areas on them, and it's like, guys, how do we get like this?
Because there's no direct process for takeoff. It's kind of whoever leads it, you decide how takeoff runs. And the thing with me is when I was the lead of takeoff, I experimented with several different things, but I wouldn't do it as a whole unit. I would be like, okay, I'm going to treat this table this way, this table this way, this table this way, and I'm going to see which one works the best. And then I'll uniform it. So
It,
you caught me
yeah,
right at you caught me right as I was
you
starting to
found it
unify shit.
basically. Probably, I think I
Yeah,
came like right as you had like found like your way that you wanted to do it because you
yeah,
never
and I was
changed it
starting to
once I was
unify it.
there.
Yeah, and I was starting to unify it. That's when you came in. So, but that took me all 3 months to do my little experiment and then unify it.
Dude, I remember too, like
So,
doing that
and
job,
then
like
I told Phil, who was taking me over as I was going to assembly, I'm like, this is the one incorrect way to do this. Do not deviate or you're going to have a bad time.
mm, that's always
And he
how it is.
deviated and had a bad time.
Well, that's how it is. I mean, like I look at the way that the person, because I'm now on satellite myself, and I look at the way the person used to do it that was there before me, and they did have some methods, that was kind of like, all right, yeah, it makes sense. But dude, I even went up and figured out how to shorten a job that we do that takes us usually about, I would say, 2 hours if you have a really long run of it. And the reason why it would take you 2 hours is because once you run the tap bit through it, you'd have to flip the part over and then deburr the back of it. But the thing is, it's like, dude, the burr that would be on this part was like not really a burr at all. Like you wouldn't even notice it if you ran your bare finger over it. And that part went like on the inside of like this like box kind of shape once they formed it up. So it was like, do we really need to worry about that? And like our plant manager, he was like, let's not do it and see what happens. And they haven't complained about it. So I literally cut off like an hour's worth of work off of a 2 hour job just because I was like, what if I put my own process on this, or my own thought behind it?
Yeah. And they're probably going to do shit to it too anyway when they get to it, other than put it on the machine. So like they'll probably do something with it that would knock off the burr itself. So
Well, I mean, and I think that
and
too.
if
Like,
it's
you're
not
gonna put
big
a
enough
screw
to
through
feel it
there.
with your
That's what
bare
they're gonna
fingertip,
do.
you're not feeling it with the glove. So it's only just a
Well,
cosmetic thing. So yeah, it fuck it,
and you gotta know too. Like, if it's good, if it's a tap, then it's a thread hole, so it's gonna get a screw in it.
and that's gonna knock it off probably.
That or like, when are they ever gonna remove that freaking screw?
Yeah, people don't fix stuff anymore.
No, it was. It saved so much time doing our job. But we should move on to another topic here, and I think I got one. I been loving a new game recently, dude. It's so awesome. And that game is Dying Light the Beast. It itself is a beast. It's amazing. Like it is morbidly a beast.
That sounds cool.
Dude, it's like it's kind of like what we really wanted for Dying Light 2, which we got robbed of. We have the original guy back from the first game, and even like the actual like voice actor is back to voice him again. So, you really actually feel like you got the real character back. And
Yeah.
and the story is awesome. Like for anybody that played Dying Light 1, you know what I'm about to say, but like he's in Haran, he basically tries to save the city. Uh, in the end, he can't really save the city, but he stops the bad guy, and then he goes out to the countryside, and then like he gets captured. He spends 13 years being tortured and experimented on, and that's what like gives him the beast element to him because it's like a power up like rage mode for him. And
So that's what you mean by original guy. I thought you meant like original developer. You're talking about the game dude that you played with.
yeah, like it's the original guy from the first video game, like the main character that you played as. It's Kyle
Yeah,
Crane.
yeah, yeah. Caught up now. I
Well, it
thought I
is still
thought you
like
were
the original
talking about.
developers too.
Okay, I'm caught up now.
But like it's definitely like Dying Light 2, a lot of people consider it a flop. I liked it and I didn't really hate it just because I knew that we were walking into a whole new story, a whole new element. But I guess a lot of people hated it. They didn't like it. But this entire one, though, like The Beast feels like the ultimate Dying Light to me. Speeder, you in your underwear?
No, I'm in shorts.
Okay.
Shorts.
Dude, for a second he looked like he was wearing some kind of fancy underwear. I'm like,
I had to cut this
we
phone
can't.
in half for my dog.
Why do you always end up shirtless on the podcast?
I've been shirtless this entire time.
You're always shirtless on the podcast. Put a shirt on, you freak.
No.
That was the. Don't make me say it. That was like the most uh what's it called? A homosexual thing I've ever heard. The
No.
way that you said that, yeah. I gotta watch how I
You
say it. We gotta be PC about it, you know.
you just caught me off guard calling me a freak.
You
like,
fucking freak.
like
I don't recall that. Yell at this man. Stop that. It's bad. It's nasty.
I'm slowing down. I can't afford it no more.
I
Trying to
finally
slow down.
stopped. I finally stopped. Everything that happened and like my whole grandma situation, I just kind of was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. She wouldn't want me to keep on doing it, and I need to stop. It's like you said, that shit is so expensive anymore. I mean, especially because I was smoking
It's
Marlboro
had
Blacks.
in this like what 6, 8 months I've been down here. They went up twice. The one pack that I smoked, they went up twice.
In cities, they go up a lot too. I've noticed, like in big cities, I should say at least.
And they went up without even getting a coupon code pack. Like I didn't see any coupon code pack. I haven't seen a coupon code pack in like
Dude,
2 years now.
they started even they lessened. I noticed on one of the signs, and this tells you how much of a smoker I used to be too. It used to be like $2 you would save if you bought two fucking packs at once. I was looked at the sign the other day, and it was only like $1.29. I was like, really? You're giving me $1.30 for buying two at one point? That's the saving aspect. That's two
Yeah,
cigarettes. If I was trying to like sell them for 30 cents a piece or something, 25 cents a piece.
it's expensive to try to get out of paying taxes early, man.
I mean, dude, that's like one of the dumb things that's happened too. Have you heard about this? You have to
But
go and get like a special thing put on your ID now to fly on a plane.
hmm
That
yeah,
literally,
I
my
heard
dad
that.
said it the best. He was like, it just sounds like the government wanted to charge everybody an extra $20.
That and they're also just slowly trying to take our freedom of movement and travel away. They don't want people to be able to freely move as they do. They want to be able to control people's transit.
Well, their whole thing is they want to be able to, like, not just control it, but they also want to be able to, like, they don't want anybody to be able to get away with anything anymore, essentially, which is one of the things that
Yeah,
everybody hates
that's
nowadays.
why
You know,
they're
you
also
can't get
trying to
away with
keep us
anything
to
anymore.
electric cars too, because eventually they can just upload a system that shuts down your car, and now you no more police chases happen. Like they're trying to constrict everything. They're controlling. They're taking away our freedoms.
I mean, I do understand police chases actually because, you know, there are a lot of innocent people that end up being, you know, like what's it called? Innocent bystanders or innocent, like, what's it called? Casualties of it.
Yeah,
I mean, I
that's
just
I
watched one
don't
of
know.
those like motorcycle things, dude. Like the guy was flying down the road in LA and then hits this freaking car head on. And his whole body does like the whole like ragdoll like starfish, and he's like doing like cartwheels through the air. I'll admit I laughed, but at the end of it, I was like, "Oh God, man, I couldn't imagine like actually watching that though. Like that would actually that would screw you up. like,
He got what he asked for. The family that was involved, that's the part where I would be fucked up at. like,
yeah, exactly, and that's where it's like I understand them wanting to
unfortunately,
do
even
that
if
for the
he was
innocent
innocent and
involvement.
guilty, he still decided to run from the cops, and that is the freedom I'm still after. Like,
Well,
we
you
have
can.
the
That's the
freedom
freedom.
to
You can
say,
try, but they also have the
yeah,
right to try to make it
but
harder.
they're trying to convert us all to electric cars, and then they eventually they'll just be able to like upload a system or shoot
It's
it with
so
a special
dumb.
dart, and it just shuts down the entire car or vehicle that you're on. Like,
I hope anybody listens to this understands that if you actually want an electrical car, you are an idiot. You have to think about how much it's going to charge you or cost you to go out and get a new battery for that car once that battery is not working. You're talking multiple grand.
And
Multiple.
also, what's to keep them from treating these electric cars like how they treat our cell phones? That we have all
Yeah.
these expensive, rare ass minerals in there, and we're only supposed to keep them for a couple of years.
Oh, dude, it could be like something stupid like that. Like they could turn into like a subscription type service. You know what I mean? Like if you want to
Most
have,
companies already have,
I mean,
like
yeah, they do.
BMW.
But
BMW, you have to have a subscription service to use their heated seats.
yeah, like it's exactly that. Like it's ridiculous. Like it's one of those things. It's just we're reaching the age. They talked about it before. We're reaching the age of the gross, where it's like everybody needs to have way much of like a certain thing or way so much of like these certain things. But it's like we need to understand that we don't need these stupid things anymore. We need to go back to a simplistic kind of mindset.
I
If that makes
have
any
labeled it
sense.
as we reached a point where technology is no longer useful, is now detrimental.
But that's what it is. Like technology is no longer useful because yeah, it's you can't afford to use it or you can't afford to
It's no
keep up
longer
with it.
useful, and also it doesn't do anything that's fucking useful.
Well, it's ridiculous at the end of the day because you have technology like iPhone or Apple or whatever. Like everybody's biggest thing right now is that the iPhone 17 or whatever is literally just the iPhone 16. It's
Yeah,
the exact same phone.
yeah,
Like it's like the biggest money grab that they've done so far, besides the audio jack thing.
yeah, and they're still gonna make the older phone obsolete, even though it's the
That should
same
be
exact
illegal.
phone. So
That
you
should
so
be
you have
illegal.
choice to move on to the next thing.
That's like stop killing games, dude. It should be illegal to take away something that somebody's purchased and still has and uses. Like especially if there is an offline mode of it that can still be used and accessed. But a lot of these things they don't give you any option like that. They just yoink.
Yeah, ownership's becoming a thing of the past, which is scary.
It is. It's terrifying. I mean, me and Dad they made a really good point about our Voodoo account when I was playing a streaming, or I should say streaming with the guys, because we own like a bunch of movies on Voodoo, and they could just wipe that service out any day, and hundreds of our dollars are gone.
Yeah, just
And it's
down the
like
toilet.
that's where I hope like we can get some kind of law established that's like you have to have some kind of like long term plan. You know what I mean? For if they have this, they have to be able to can still have it even when you're done. You know what I mean? Or at least convert it because there is like that. Like when I get a new phone, I can convert my playlist over to my new phone, and sometimes it won't. Like my this phone right here doesn't have a like actual music thing on it, so my actual downloaded music is on YouTube Music in a weird like file of its own. So like they need to figure something like that out even.
Yeah, it's the only way I can see it working in the way our world works is that there would just be a limited free boot window to you to free boot it up to some type of drive or flash drive, however you want to store it. There would be a limited external portal for you to free boot
Yeah,
these up.
I think even like to be real, like how they accused us of like pirating and stuff like that. Like I know it could get like to a certain point of like you'd have to somehow monitor it, but even like burning it to a CD for yourself to keep in a physical copy, like
Yeah, like
or a
it would
USB
be
drive
a
even.
limited window, and I imagine there would only be one feature to this window. That's why it'd be like, okay, after you guys get it to whatever drive, you can do whatever you want with it from there because it's now on your private drive. I imagine it'll be something simple as a drive to drive transfer. As you let anybody do whatever they want, you're gonna have to extend that window, because turning a CD takes longer than it's uploading a drive file.
Yeah, and that's why I said like just putting that on a
Yeah,
USB. What are you doing? Like fisting your dog?
playing this toy. It's, it's, he likes the tug since he's getting used to his back legs back. He's starting to get his speed back too, which is making me happy. He's starting to be that little speed demon fur missile, but he can't get good tugs. Every time he tries to do a good tug, he falls down on his ass. But
Me after arm
we're
day.
getting
I
there.
mean, for real.
Yeah.
I just can't get good tugs.
Yeah, now he's defluffing it, so we're good. He's killing it. He had a
So,
little rat dog run up on him on that walk we were on right before the pod, and I
oh
was
wait,
super
what do you mean
scared.
like rat dog? Like Chihuahua? We talking what kind of rat
I don't
dog?
know, it's a little rat dog. I don't know those rat
I
dogs.
can't stand dogs that size. I really can't. Like I couldn't own one. I can't. I'm not gonna say I can't stand, but I can't stand one if it's constantly like barking and yipping or trying to act hard. You know what I mean? Because it's like, brother, I can punt you across the yard.
He was full confident running up on Seeger, and then when they got Ace, it was all calm, and they were both just wagging their tails and being friends. And then about the time when the owner finally caught back up to it to pick up the leash and started pulling it away,
How
after
does
he got
that
a
dog
safe
get out of
distance
its hand?
away, after he got a safe distance away, that's when it started barking. Because it was a child, it was all maybe 6, maybe 9.
Okay, probably just wasn't paying attention at all, holding that thing so loosely.
Yeah, the parents was walking behind the child. So like the child wasn't just out there by itself. So,
I was gonna
I
say, if a
wasn't
dog
mad at
that size
it.
could pull that leash out of a human, that'd be horrible.
It was just a child.
Well,
But yeah,
listen, man.
as soon as the dog got a safe distance away and I realized it was with its owner, it started acting tough. And Seeger was just staring it down like, my boy don't make no noise.
Dude, did I ever tell you about how I
Like,
got bit by a dog?
uh, I don't,
Okay, I don't think
I don't
so.
think so. No.
Dude, it was weird because like I met this dog before. Like I knew the guy, and I went over and I like hung out with him a couple times. The dog was really friendly, like super nice, and uh, he was walking it one time, and I was walking with two of my other friends, and like we like started to cross each other's paths, and I was in like we were all kind of like, hey, what's up, blah blah blah, and fucking the dog like out of nowhere slipped its collar and just started running at us. And I didn't think anything of it. But the weirdest part of this is it goes around the two of my friends and comes straight at me and it, like latches on to like where like my kneecap is, but like on the back side of my leg where the skin is, like that meets like on the inside of my leg. He just oh got it real good. And dude, my
Still got
friend's
a
freaking
scar.
out. Oh, I think I still do, but I'm not like a ballerina or nothing, so I can't like pull that leg all the way
I
up and show you all that without at
was
least
just
like
wondering.
pulling something. What it was
Um,
like he was so worried that I was gonna like tell somebody like tell my dad or something like that, and like his dog was gonna get killed. So like when I went home, like because obviously like my leg was hurt, my dad was like, "What happened?" And I was like, "Oh, I slipped in the woods and fell and like cut my leg on some rocks." Like obvious ass
did your
puncture
dad?
marks on my leg.
Yeah, and clearly bite wounds. And
Should be like,
yeah,
man,
did your
Alec
dad
latched
look
on.
at
He
it
wouldn't
and
let
trust
go.
you?
It was crazy.
Did your dad even look at it? Because I
Dude, he
imagine,
didn't. He didn't
that's
give a shit. I could have walked in with a fucking
50-50.
broken arm. Dude, actually, I walked in with a piece of an arrow in my hand one time, and he just so calmly was like, "Put your hand on the table." I didn't. He just pulled that thing right out of my hand, and I honestly thought that would hurt more than it did. It didn't really hurt coming out.
I mean, it sounds like a typical Ohio dad, so that's why I'm like, it's 50-50 if, he actually looked at it. Just grow up, boy.
He gave me
Yeah,
one
I
of.
bet you learned your lesson.
Weirdly enough, my dad actually is tied to like many of my scars, and then you are tied to like the rest of them.
Makes it sound like you're riddled with scars. You're
I'm
gonna
not
be
like
the next
riddled
person
with
that
them, but
dies
like
that
anyone that I have, like I know that like I was with somebody or like there was an instance that occurred. Like the first one I remember is I burned the skin off of the inside of my leg because I put my leg straight up to a like engine of a dirt bike while I was wearing shorts. And my dad was the one that was like I was so little that I was like riding with my dad, so I was in front of him. and I like just pressed my legs tight against the dirt bike, not realizing, and fucking melted all the skin off the inside of my leg.
Fuck. I got a couple of dog bite stories. When I was living with this girl that we're gonna call T, and when I first moved in with T, she was in a relationship with a dude that we're gonna call B. So I moved in with B and T in
Tuberculosis.
this one little tiny, like I want to say it was a 2-bedroom apartment, if I remember right. And at the time they had 3 dogs, all pit bulls. One was really old, one was like 2 years younger than that one, and the other one they just got puppy. And it was fine until we moved houses out of that tiny little apartment and got a actual 3-bedroom house, 2 stories. It was a really nice house. And that puppy grew up and, started challenging the older male because it was male, female, male.
Oh yeah, it always works like that.
So the 2 males started getting at it, and most of the time I was home alone when they would get at it. So I would just jump in the middle of this pit bull dogfight instinctually, like just fucking right in there where the mouths are. That's where I'm at.
I had a dog chip my tooth doing that shit one time.
And eventually I learned just to shove fingers up asses.
Is that a stand-up bit that you're working on?
No, that is actually dog trainer shit. If dogs are fighting,
Smitty, are you
stick your finger
fingering
up their
dogs?
ass. Not anymore. I
I know
only
the
had to
title
do
of
it
the
one
video
other
now. Holy
time
shit.
after I learned.
Hang
I
on,
only
no.
had to do it
We're 100% confirming that you did this.
one time, yes.
I know the title of the video now.
And I was very calm about it the one time I had to do it because I knew I was going to do it the next time they got in a fight.
What?
So they started fighting. I calmly got up. They were ripping ass, tearing at each other. I calmly walked over to the drawer where I knew I bought some gloves, the medical rubber gloves. I put 2 on. I calmly walked over to them. I waited to a good time where their both butts were kind of lined up where I could just kind of get, double them. And that's what I did. They both yelped and fucking
Smitty,
ran.
you went.
No, I was very calm about this. I knew I was going to have one shot,
Got one
and I
shot. Do
went,
not miss your chance to finger the dog.
and I didn't go to the second knuckle. I only went to the first knuckle on both of them. I just went, and
Why
they
do
went
you remember? Why?
because I never thought I was going to have to finger 2 dogs in the asshole to break up a fight in my entire life. But there I was. There's me with 2 gloves
All
on.
these times, I'm like, give me an embarrassing story. This son of a bitch is like, I ain't really got one, man.
I don't find it embarrassing.
You should.
I find that I got bit in the hand when I was in a band, like because you can still see that scar a little bit. If that dog gets out the way, like,
Now I know why Seeger likes you so much. If I stick my finger in his
like,
ass, I'll probably be his best friend.
and he literally had this hand across my
I
body
didn't
and
say
was
no.
dragging me this way when I was getting that bite. That one sucked. I was in a band currently at this point. This is my fretting hand. Like I couldn't do shit. I was out. I was down for 2 weeks.
That's what
I
sucked about
still
putting
showed
the
up to
arrow in my
practice.
hand. I was doing pole vault at the time, so I couldn't like literally hold on to the pole when I was trying to fucking vault.
Yeah, and then they got me in the calf and they got me in the ankle. I got bit up the fuck by those dogs in their
I only
fights.
got bit once
That's
by a
why
dog.
that's why I fingered them in the asshole. I got tired of getting bit.
I'm taking that out of context so hard. I'm gonna clip that like so bad. That's why I fingered them in the ass.
Hole. I said asshole.
Doesn't matter.
You put the
Either one.
respect on that. You put
I
the
don't
respect
respect
on
you. I do not respect you. Do not. Chat, don't respect this man.
that.
He may be
The
making
city might
moves,
need you.
but
Um, Sunday, I have another playtest group to go to, and this one seems a little bit more promising because this one's actual game designers. So
This is like for your game that you've been designing, right?
Yeah. I mean, I got to try my prototype, but like I said, there was four of us, so two of us was sitting out
And
while I
this
was
isn't
trying
the
to
one I've
teach the
gotten to try,
game.
right?
Yeah, this is my new one, the Gladiators one.
So he's made a couple of games now, and dude, like just from his earliest ones, they were still pretty fun. I mean, actually, like the work you put in too to figure out how to, like, oh man, I don't know, like trying to figure out systems like that, like just having to like keep it all like just what's it called coordinated basically is just I couldn't imagine how much of a bitch that is.
Notes. Notes help a lot.
Not when you write like a freaking blind Chinese man.
That's why phone notes help a lot. The Notes app, my best friend, dude.
What do you mean? I definitely don't use that at all for the notes of our Stone Bums podcast.
Yeah, that's exactly what mine looks like. We have the
Speaking
same
of,
exact notes app.
speaking of, I did have a crazy question. If you could meet one celebrity or historic figure, who would it be? Like you spend the day just hanging out, talking with them, doing whatever you want to do with them, and whatever obviously like they would do, because you can't force them, to like do something that they wouldn't want to do, because that wouldn't really be them.
Mm,
This guy's like,
I don't.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know
have to think
history.
about that one a little bit. I don't really know too many celebrities.
It's a third stumble bum right there. Look at him. That's why I also
Yes.
said historical figures because I was like, you're not really the most like celebrity driven guy, but I figured you might want to meet somebody from history.
Nobody good.
I will say celebrity will count as a musician as well.
Yeah, I don't. I have no interest in meeting any. All the musicians I like are pretty much still alive. So like, there
I,
might be a few old jazz heads I want to pick their head on, but that's not the first thing I'm thinking of. When you said historical figures, I'm like the only really historical figures I really like the old school Wild West freaking train
oh,
robber and
like the
freaking
actual real ones. Oh, that would be insane.
yeah,
That's a
like
really good
Butch
answer,
Cassidy and his gang. I wouldn't
dude.
mind keeping up with Butch Cassidy and his gang
That's an
for,
awesome
a
fucking
trip back
answer.
in
I didn't
the
even think
past.
about that. That's
But like
actually
my
awesome.
problem is I'm Native American and they were all white and extremely racist, so I probably would have a hard time getting in there. Like
Listen here, boy.
I would have to bring like a gun from the
We got
future,
a
be like,
two for
listen,
one tonight, boys.
I got super powerful guns, okay, and a lot of ammo with them,
It's a
so I
two
could
for
kill you right
one
now.
special in this fucking who downtown.
Yeah, like I would either be totally friends with them
Or
or I would be
lynched
killing
hard.
Butch Cassidy and the gang and altering history. Like,
Or completely fucking lynched, like they probably did.
yeah, but
Like,
I guess there's my answer. What's yours?
it's a stupid one, but like it immediately jumps to my mind. So like that's why I go with it. Sylvester Stallone. I don't know why. Like I always wanted to sit down and just be like, because he plays so many iconic roles in my childhood, like Rambo, Rocky. I mean, really, that's it. But like I don't know. Like when I look back, I'm like, there's one celebrity I wanted to talk to because he also did porn. So like, it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like his first movie was a porno, and then he becomes Rocky, which he wrote all of that. And then he actually had like a crazy second movie that they didn't actually make. They like made the second movie, but they didn't go with the original story that he wrote. Like I don't know, I feel like he's definitely one of the ones that's like interesting to talk to. I feel like if you can understand, like Adrian and Rocky.
I think he paid Pamela Anderson to fuck her, and then when Pamela Anderson came out to talk about it, he has like straight up denied it.
I mean, respect.
And
Players got to play.
so, and it's I don't understand why she would lie about it. She could lie about any actor because she was in the realm, like she could have fucked any of them,
I mean,
like I think
that's
if she
like,
comes out saying that she fucked this dude, I think she fucked that dude.
well, I mean, that's like,
What
I don't know.
why does she has any she has no leverage to lie about that? Like
Well, it's like
to what
after
end?
what's it called? Like I read the dirt and all that. And I'm not gonna take everything those guys said in that book as like a real fucking serious thing, but I do wonder how much truth there is behind what Tommy says, behind like what sent him to prison or jail or whatever. Because like he says like all he did was like I think he like pushed her or something like that and she broke a nail and that's what he says happened. But it's like you don't get sent to jail or prison for just pushing your spouse.
Yeah. I mean, that's where there is two sides to every story.
But it is
And
like,
that is more a domestic violence problem
but if she's
versus
willing to do that
just
to her own husband and she
slander.
was lying, you know what I mean, then she'd be willing to fucking do some shit to Sylvester Stallone, especially to hit the, what's it called, front page.
Well, that's the one thing fun about the jury system. They found Tommy guilty, so
Well,
Pam
yeah.
wasn't lying.
Well,
So that's
well,
that that's the one thing fun about
well,
the courts. That's
the
what
courts
they're
have
there
been
for.
wrong.
And yeah, they have been, but has this one been contested?
Well, no, but it also was like way back when. You
So
couldn't
you
really like.
kind of just have to go
But
by
that's the
it.
point though too. Is like back then, like the evidence and all that stuff. Like I don't know, it's hard to do any kind of like thing with that because you don't really have long term evidence from that. Like it's not like a fucking murder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you
So
kill somebody 20 years ago and they find the body, you still got a good chance of being found out that you killed that guy. like,
yeah, yeah, that's where you know we do have the statute of limitations. So
yes,
also
we do.
for the courts, this is too old to give a fuck about.
And
If
I
they
gotta say
would
that is,
contest it,
I do believe that is one of the greatest things that we have for our laws is the statute of limitations because it is like with how our laws change, like, yeah, I could have been breaking the law technically back then. And, if you really wanted to and you found the evidence that I was, smoking weed back in 2017, right? There's a picture of me, dated. I'm hitting a joint. Or I'm hitting a bowl, I should say. I'm hitting a bowl. Pretty obviously sweet. There's weed laid out in front of me, right?
yeah,
Then
two
if they didn't
crimes
have the statute of limitations, even though it's legal now, they could have charged me for smoking. But since we
and
have statute of
underage.
limitations, yeah, I'm good. And I don't know. I respect that because it makes sense. And they made that because laws change. I mean, I guess
Yeah,
too. Like that's what it is. If I'm correct, there is no statute of limitation on murder, and that's
no,
I believe in that.
and then I believe in certain states there's also no statute, no, no for like rape and shit.
Yeah,
But other states, you could rape somebody, and as long as you don't get caught in like 5 years, did you rape them?
that's not true in Ohio or whatever state that happened for Abe from Every Day, which Dad knew the guy. Like Dad thought he was a stand-up dude, but apparently, like one day he just got arrested, and what came out was he apparently raped his little sister when they were kids. And Abe was
Who's
like
this?
50 years old. This was like years ago, dude. I was probably in like
No.
middle school.
Okay, so I
Um,
wasn't working.
yeah,
Okay,
you probably weren't working
like
there yet, but it was
no,
insane. Like my dad, like he was shocked. Like he thought that Abe was a stand-up dude. He even thought like that. He's like, "There's no way it's true." They found him guilty. He's serving prison, and it's like
I worked at
you
this.
just don't know people, you know?
I worked in this one foundry one time, and there was this maintenance dude that they called Mole, and and he was like short and kind of weird looking, and like he was always doing the dirty job. So I'm like, okay, that's why they call him Mole.
Makes sense. Yeah.
No, it's not what they called him Mole.
Was he like a mole on his dick or something?
No, it was short for molester.
I just
He
call him
was a
Lester.
convicted molester, and I thought I was being friends with him, but
I
I'm
just
like,
call him
not no
pedo.
more.
Actually, I'd be like, pedo.
Yeah, I just started avoiding him. I'm like, you fucking weirdo.
No, dude. Actually, I will admit, like one of my favorite jokes ever. I can't remember who made it. I want to
And
say
that's the
it's
time
like,
I was with Crystal, and I had all the kids and shit. So that's why I just stopped talking to him. Like,
ooh,
yeah,
yeah,
I'm not,
yeah, no,
yeah, I'm
hell
like,
no,
I'm not, I'm not fucking with this dude no more.
hell fucking no. And dude, that's probably a guy almost like I think it was Daniel Tosh made the joke. Might not have been. I can't remember who it was, but they're like, I can't believe there are people out there that actually want to fuck children. It's like, have you ever had a conversation with a kid? Like, I want to blow my fucking brains out just talking to one. I couldn't imagine trying to fuck one. I don't know why, but
I,
it made me die laughing because I'm like, it is like I can't stand most kids. Like just talking to them
yeah,
or having to interact with them, unless it's like
yeah,
I guess like my nephew or niece, because it's like my blood. So it's like, hey, what's up, little homie? One day we're gonna be getting hammered together. Like,
yeah, and that's all it should be. They should be little buddies, not anything else.
hey,
It's,
I guess yeah. Like you just know you don't have a fucked up mind when you look at a young child and you're like, what's up, buddy? Like I don't know. I just don't understand it. You gotta have something wrong with your brain to do that. I mean, truly. I hit my table
yeah,
so hard the freaking thing just popped back up. And dude, that's what I think about too. I'm like, if some motherfucker ever tried that against my nieces or nephews, by God, I'm going to prison. Going to prison proudly.
yeah. I'm glad my brother didn't have any kids so far, so I don't got to worry about that. I just have to worry about somebody scamming my grandmother, and she gets those calls every goddamn day. So I
Dude,
tend to call my grandmother every couple of days. I'm like, you haven't talked to nobody from Calcutta, have you?
I mean, dude, like one of those ones that almost got me one time. Not really. It didn't almost get me, but it would get me if I had my license and they weren't stupid at texting. And I gotta find it because I still have it saved because I keep going back to it to laugh at it. It goes, Ohio BMV final notice. Enforcement begins September 9 to 9 ND.
Nanda.
And I stopped there because obviously I knew that was fake. You know, what I mean, and obviously they would send you a letter if you actually did something like that. But it says our records
It's in the
indicate
mail.
that as of today, you still have an outstanding traffic ticket pursuant to Ohio Administrative Code 15C-16.003. If you fail to pay by September 8, 2025, okay, I'm just jump down to number 2 because this is where they screwed up again. Suspend your vehicle registration effective September 8th,
It's
8st, 8th. I'm like, dude, you gotta learn the number things if you're gonna try and scam me at least. Like, and one, I don't have a fucking license.
yeah.
Like, you're hitting the wrong guy up here. Like, I'm looking back, like, when was the last time I was on the fucking highway?
I used to get ones all the time when I still lived in Sydney. He'd be like, "We're trying to save you money on your utility bill." And I used to say, "All right, cool. How'd you get my number?" And they used to hang up right away.
That's the number one
And
thing
then
you can say
finally,
to scammers to get them to hang up and
and
leave you
then
alone.
and then finally they started answering me like, "We got it from the public record." So I'm like, "Okay, that's cool. I ain't never had a utility bill, so how'd you get my name and number from the public records?"
That's true, actually. Because I have utility bills, actually. My name.
But I
Dang,
ain't
that's
never
a good
had one
one.
when they were
Yeah,
calling them. When they would start calling me, I'm like, I ain't
that's a
never
good one.
had one. So how'd you get my number? From the public records. I ain't in the public records.
Dude, there was one, like, they called my dad one time, and they did, like, from what I could tell from what he said, and I'm just gonna give you, like, his side of it, so you guys can all, like, assume what was going on. He was like, "Are you serious?" So I won that. It's like, all right, so what's the date that I have to be there present to accept it? You're kidding me. I I'm getting my colostomy bag added to me that day. I don't think I'll be able to get there. And I don't know if you guys know what a colostomy bag is, but it's if you can't poop out of your ass. Like it's a horrible thing. Like
Gross.
no,
I
but like
played with
dude,
a drummer that had one, and he liked to play shirtless, and it would just flap. It was
that man is a legend. No, but
it's
like he
gross.
went in like complete detail and was like said some it might have been okay, it might have been actually what's it called? The finger up the ass. What is it, Smitty? When they like the doctor puts his
Oh,
finger up your
getting his
ass?
prostate checked. Prostate.
It was prostate, but isn't there like it starts with a C? There's a version that starts with a C, isn't there? Colon. He's getting his colon uh
No.
processed or something like that. I think that's why he might have said something like that, but like it was like he made this excuse, and then they tried to even give him like a separate date or something like that, and then he made up another. Might have been like I think it was probably with this, but dude, they had them on the phone for like 15 minutes. just wasting their time before he finally was just like, so how much time, like, how many people, did I just save from scamming by bullshitting you? And they hung up.
Hopefully one little grandma somewhere. I
I
mean, that's
hope,
all we
dude.
can do. That's all the power we have right now
It
as
is
regular
because we
people.
can't.
Just waste their time.
Well, we can't expedite people from India or Iraq or wherever the hell they're doing this from. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a big enough thing unless
No,
they've actually
jurisdiction's not
successfully
there.
stolen money. And that's it too. Yeah,
Yeah,
like it's so hard to actually get the police there to do things about it unless you have hard evidence that you've submitted to them. There's a big one on
yeah,
YouTube that I support named Kit Boga, and he's done that a few times. He's gotten a few different hacking services shut down because he just spent time just gathering the evidence. If I'm correct, he actually went inside of one time and like walked around and tried to be like, "Oh, I'm just an American, touring, blah blah blah."
yeah. But we really don't know their legal processes over there. And shutting them down, that could have just been a fine. Nobody got jail time, which they should be
And
getting
that's
jail time.
a lot of people are assuming that's what it is, and that's why we're still having such a rampant course of it.
Yeah, and those scam companies,
And
they
they
rake
get the
in the
money.
funds.
Yeah,
This
they get the
fine
money
ain't
and
nothing.
they
It's
pay the
just a slap
fine.
on the wrist,
Yeah, they pay the fine, and then they're
and
helping the
open up a new
country, and the
location.
country's like, "Thank you for paying us
And,
U.S.'s money."
yeah, and then they open up another location
Yeah,
and
and they
start it
ignore it
all
for
over
another
again.
6 months, and then they finally get another call, and they're like, "Hey, got pace
Yeah, that's why
again."
they'll pop up in like strip malls, abandoned apartment complexes. They'll
I
pop up
mean,
everywhere around Kolkata,
in a
like
way, it's
in
just
these
like
random ass buildings.
the U.S. system. That was a great voice crack, but like in a way, it's just like the U.S. system. You know what I mean? Like somebody will break into somebody's home, steal a couple $1,000s worth of fucking goods, and they'll be out in 3 months to do it again. You know what I mean? Like it's stupid, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, it's because we have the prisons are too full or this and that," and it's like, thank God, like our state has legalized weed and stuff because that's one of the big ones that's in there for stupid shit like weed, where it's like, does he really need to be in a prison for that with the hardcore offenders?
Yeah, he's just learning how to be a better criminal. But we're
That
talking
too.
about bigger issues here. Like most people turn to crime and these sketchy ways to make money because it's the last option.
It
Like
is.
they have no other option. So that's just a problem with our society or features itself.
I'll say
And
though,
then the prison, our whole entire incarceration system doesn't focus enough on rehabilitation. There should be mandatory classes that they have to pass before they're eligible to get a release date
and
to
well, that's the
prove that
problem.
they are
Sorry.
actually progressing as a member of society instead of just sit in this room, do your time, and think about what you did
And that's the problem.
and
Like
talk to all these criminals who think they did nothing wrong.
they
It's
need to change
like,
it up because of that. Like that's the problem. We're treating everybody's crimes very equally. The only difference that we have in our treatment of crimes is the time and the death penalty. That's the
yeah,
stupidest thing I've ever heard of. You should be if you've killed, 3 people and you didn't get the death penalty, then you need to be serving some kind of hard labor. I don't sound like an asshole, but like I mean like pick that rock up and move it over to that corner. Hey, now pick that rock up again, move it over to that place that you just picked it up from. Because
yeah,
you
some
killed three
useless
people.
car. Yeah, I'm for all that, but it's not a case like that, and it's somebody who did like I don't know some low robbery or some blue collar crime.
Then
There
yeah,
should
like
be classes associated with the crime, and also just regular classes. Because some of these people turn to crime because they're just uneducated. They dropped out, they did whatever, they fucked up somewhere along the path, and they're just dumb as rock.
but
So I
we
feel
can't
like
sorry.
there should be some educational reform as well. Like
Some.
we're not doing enough for the people that turn to crime. Crime is not a desire thing; it
Well
is
it's
a
not.
last resort.
It it's a
To some
last
people, it
resort,
is,
but it's a
but most
glorifying thing for
people, it is
others
a
too.
last resort.
You have to remember that there are a lot of, especially like people my age and with this younger generation. When you are younger, there is a little stupid aspect of when you listen to. And I don't want to try to sound like I'm blaming music or anything like that, but it is like when we were younger, and you listen to like some fucking shit about like being like I hit licks and I did blah blah. You made jokes about wanting to hit licks or wanting to go and rob
That
people,
hasn't always
but then
been
there's
the
people that
case, though.
really go and
Most
do
early
it.
rap was about the hustlers, the people who
Oh yeah,
sold drugs
don't
and
get me wrong. Yeah, that's why I'm
everything else.
not blaming
It's
music.
only now that the rap
Can I
game has
finish my
switched to
fucking
these
point, dude?
robbering shit. Yeah, I was agreeing with you
Yeah, I
for the
know, but
most
like I
part.
don't get to continue. Like I shut up when you talk. I really do. And then I try
I
to get
did
my
good.
point
There
in, and
was
then
a
you're like,
good,
"Ah, well,
there was a good chunk there where I didn't interrupt you.
good chunk." But you're starting to do it again. No, but I was just trying to say, like, it gets down to that point where, like, it's a point of like you're trying to act like you can prove that you're hard or prove that you are a badass, and that's the problem right there. We need to stop making criminal things seem like it makes you a bigger man or a bigger badass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's just trends. We could change the trend if we
It's a
change.
trend that's been going for a while.
So did the hustler trend. The hustler trend went for a while too, and
That's still going.
the the way that things are, I kind of don't blame them. But on the other hand, because I can hold two truths, God gave me two hands for a reason. I see where it all stems from, and we never treat the core problem. We just treat these leaves of the symptoms of the core problem. We're just treating the symptoms. We're not finding a cure for the core problem. Is all I'm trying to get at. Like,
I will say this.
core problem stands more for how we set up society and ran it so far. Like, there's been poor maintenance and upkeep on all of it.
Well, when you look at look at the country Singapore. Like, I'll be real. When you look at Singapore, they don't have much of any actual crime, but they also have a
Yeah,
severe penalty system. Like, they still have public caning, as in
yeah,
like,
they don't have very much freedom neither. It's a very
well,
fine
no, but you
line to
can
walk.
still have freedom. That's what it is. You can still have freedom, but still get punished for breaking the rules. And that's what it is. Like you just it's like how they always say be smart being stupid. Like anything you do, you just got to think about it before you do it. And I understand it like I'm with it at this certain point. If we want crime to stop being such a rampant factor, we have to up the scales of what we are doing to the prisoners. Not just
I
to
just don't think I don't.
and but I
I
will
feel
say
like that
that
would help in
with the
some cases, but
with the lower scale
I'm not
ones,
interested.
we got to reform. I will agree with you there. And education is a big one. You're not wrong on that. A lot of it is
Yeah,
education.
I really think a more on the reform would definitely help. And then also, we got to get more jobs back over here. We're hemorrhaging jobs, especially since
It's
this last
ooh,
administration. We are hemorrhaging jobs. The next 2 years is going to be scary as fuck for the job market.
I
Like,
got that's where I have an idea here. So how we're like all talking about trade schools and stuff. That's what we should start doing with the prisoners that don't have like severe things. You know what I mean or anything. Start showing these prisoners trades. Show them how to become plumbers. Show them how to become electricians. Obviously not
yeah,
arsonists, but like what I mean. Like if the guy was just
I think,
selling weed or the guy was just selling cocaine, show him how to do a business model because evidently he knows a little bit about business. Like
yeah. And I think that should be the second or third step in the reform process. You should have some basic classes first to prove that you have the mindset and willing to change
yes,
before we give you a path.
but
There
if you're
should be a
raping kids or
qualified.
you're killing people, you should be doing hard labor or getting absolutely fucked up. And I don't mean the good kind of fucked up. I mean the kind that you don't want ever for yourself fucked up.
Yeah, the real shit jobs that nobody wants, and we pay you
Cleaning
shit
out the
because
sewers.
you're property. But
Cleaning the sewers. The fuck is on my
It
hand?
has to be something where there have to be a control, and it's also not critical to infrastructure, like making license plates, like they have been, like
Dude,
some
Loki, that's
where
how I feel about my job sometimes.
a press brake operator would be a great reform.
That no, but
Like,
I run the number punch, the fucking stamp. Literally, I punch numbers and
yeah,
letters into shit. So like when people talk about like doing
yeah,
license plates, I'm like, if I ever go to prison, I gotta get a head start. Like
yeah,
they're,
like
I'll be
anything
like
with a
Forrest
foot
Gump in the
switch.
fucking what's it called? Military the what's it called boot camp scene. He's like, Danger Sergeant.
Yeah, yeah. Just we stopped glorifying people getting numbers. Like I worked with that one dude whose girlfriend got stabbed by another dude in the house. And that dude, when I started working with him, he told me all three of his numbers. And those sentencing numbers are pretty long. And sometimes they got letters in there, you know? And he remembered all three of his numbers.
Well, did you know how how they figure out what
And
you
I'm
do in
like,
there?
and
My
I'm
bad.
like, I'm like, I'm like, okay, this is your whole mindset. You clearly just like being incarcerated. I'm not going to teach you anything because you're not going to
Glorifying
be
it
here.
basically.
Yeah, he was just glorifying being an
I don't
incarcerated person.
understand that, dude. That's like the most
So I
pathetic
was,
mentality. Yeah,
so I
man,
didn't
I've
teach
been
him
to
shit.
prison.
And then eventually he started getting mad at
What?
me. I'm like, dude, you told me all three of your fucking numbers. I don't expect you to be here long. You're about to go fuck up. Like,
Yeah, like
yeah.
evidently you want a fourth. Like,
And he had all the prison tattoos and shit too. Like,
mm,
like he very much visible, shitty prison tattoo art. So I'm like, yeah, like I can just tell by looking at you. Like, I hate to do that, but like the first thing you said to me, "Hi, my name's Jared. I'm blah 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 blah." For prison numbers, I'm like,
dude,
and luckily I met a couple prisoners before, so like I knew what he was doing. So I instantly read it and I was just like not impressed. And I showed him I wasn't impressed, and I stuck him on the takeoff table. I'm like, this is your job. This table comes
move
out.
metal from here
You
to
take
there.
all the parts on here, put them on here, throw all the skeletons in there. Once you're done with that table, you look at the screen, you call down the another table.
But no, like I
That's
had the
all I
same
told.
kind of instance happen to me with a few people. Like it was weird too because I was literally only like 20 at the time because I quit this job like 2 weeks after I turned 21. But I was 20 and I was training like 40-year-old men. You know, actually you knew one of them slightly because I was like talking about you one time. Like, are you talking about Smitty? Blah blah. And then I was like, yeah. And the guy was like a kind of a creep to be real. He
I
would
know a
like
lot of
talk.
weirdos, so it don't
He
surprise
would
me.
talk about from. I can't really describe him the way that you'd remember him now, but when I talked about him at one point, you remembered him. So, and you even told me like he was a freaking weirdo, you know, like he's just weird. But dude, he one of the first things he did when I was training him, I think he tried to do it to impress me. Was like he started talking about his woman. He's like, yeah, man, this is my wife, and they weren't actually married, so that's a red flag to me already. I feel like when you
Yeah,
sit there
you
and
don't
like,
call a woman your wife that you ain't married to.
yeah, like this is my wife, and like you don't actually see a ring on his finger, especially or her finger when you see the picture. It's like,
My buddy Jay is doing that with his baby mama, and I don't really like it. But
yeah, I just yeah, like it's not right. It's sorry, but it's not your wife unless it's down on paper. Sorry.
yeah, you put a ring on that shit. Like,
Yeah, like if there's a ring on that finger and there's at least I'll give you that too. If you can say it's your wife if you're at least engaged,
yeah.
you can say that.
And the one, and I only say this because I went to the jewelry store one time to pick out an engagement ring,
You
and
did,
I went there with high hopes and $300 in my pocket.
and you
You know
spent
what
way
happened?
more than
As soon as
300.
yeah, as you know what happened when I told the first sales clerk that, pretty much laughed in my face and
Yeah,
showed me the promise
dude. Yeah,
rings.
no, you did. You spent, dude. Didn't you spend like 3 grand or something like that
I spent $1,000 on a promise ring and two bands
on a promise ring?
and two
Smitty's like,
hands.
hell no. No, but like. he was doing
two
that, and
birds
like one of the
are
things he
like
did
little
too was
wings that get attached to the main ring.
one of the things he did too was like he immediately was like talking about that, and then he was like he started talking about like how she's like batshit crazy and has to go to therapy and all this other crazy stuff. I'm like, didn't ask. I didn't say that to him, but like that's how I was in my
Oh, you're
head.
okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you're still talking about me.
No,
You're
I
talking
was
about
talking
that.
about that guy. Like he really
Yeah.
was. Like he just started like talking about some crazy stuff. Like the second day, first day of me training him, he's like, "Yeah, man, like I gotta drop my woman off at therapy, and then like all this other stuff, and you know our daughter, blah blah, which actually isn't his daughter, and she's like, from what he was telling me, she was like 13. So I was like, that might be a little hard to be saying that's your daughter if you're not really too involved or you're not really been around that long. You
I
just
mean,
seem like an awkward guy."
if it was just me and the kids out, like when me and the kids would go skating and we would talk to a stranger because it was freeboarding, people say stuff to me.
But you
I always
spent
told them they were my kids. But if I was with Crystal for like the beginning part of our career and our
our
relationship,
career.
our beginning part of our relationship, I would call the kids their kids, but towards the end, if Crystal was around, I was saying they were my kids.
Well, no, like, and I get that though, because you guys spent years together. From what I can gather from this
Yeah,
guy, from the few times that he was talking, or not the few like days that he was working with me, he had only been in this relationship for like a year.
yeah, that's too soon.
Yeah, that's what I felt like too. I'm like that child is too old to be being
Yeah,
like only a year in and being like, yeah, that's my daughter. Like,
yeah,
brother, sorry, no. You have to know her for at least
yeah.
half her life. I feel like to call her daughter, or at least like at that point, like I don't know, not half her life, but it has to be a few years. You know what I mean? At least, and it's got to be
I
like experiences. Like you had a bunch. Like y'all went on vacations and like all kinds of crazy shit and did board games and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I only did it that way because the kids asked me, after we got done talking to strangers, it was just me and them. They're like, I'm not your kid. I'm like, yeah, but that dude don't need to know that. So
Yeah, that
they
is true
clicked it
too.
and then I only started doing it around the whole group when the kids started calling me their stepdad. Like when I heard them like overhearing them eavesdropping pretty much talking to like other kids and shit. They're like, yeah, that's my stepdad. Like I'm like, okay, I can start calling them my kids. Like it was very much mutual. I tried to do everything that way. And also I feel like I could get away with it because Lexi was the only one that looked like me and Crystal could have made that one. Olivia and Christian did not look like my kids at all. But Alexis, you can kind of see that one could have been actually mine.
I gotta say, actually, those were the only kids that weren't like my nieces and nephews that I could actually get along with. Even though like one of them was a Bible thumper,
Yeah,
like it was like I got along with those kids because they just definitely like they had that. I don't know. They were raised like we were, essentially, so that helped. But I did want to ask another question here before we end the podcast. What was something that you've looked forward to? I mean, like, really was excited for. You know what I mean? Like, you spent like months just being like, let's fucking go. Let's fucking go, man. It's going down. It's gonna be Party City. But then it was just
mm,
the most disappointing thing ever. Like, you just,
oh, yeah, adding that to it. Okay.
I'm being real. Like, there's gotta be something.
Before you added the disappointing part, I'm like literally any of my ideas, because all of my ideas kind of have multi steps to it. So I kind of have to plan
Oh,
it
well,
out and get somebody involved with it.
I'm like that every time we do
Most
the
of them.
podcast, to be real. Like, before we do the podcast, I myself, I'm like, we're fucking doing this. We're going in. We're doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like most of my every thought ever.
But that's why I added the
Uh,
disappointment part. Because it is, like, it's not the most rare thing, you know? Disappointment's a thing.
um, The most recent ones has all been with board gaming nights, to be honest. Those are the most recent ones coming to memory. I don't have like an old one that's coming to memory right now. So I'll give you those two real quick, and then you can give me yours, and maybe I can fish an old one out after yours,
So I got a good one.
because
So go ahead with yours.
because you might remind me of something, you know.
Mine's a pretty recent
No,
one. It's not an old one. It's actually really. It's what made me actually make the question.
when I was still living in Sydney, and I went to the Cardboard Horde, and I was setting up Twilight nights. I was super stoked to have a local board game group that liked to play Twilight, but literally none of those sessions went good. So
Oh,
it makes sense why they stopped talking to me. They gave me three shots, and all
three
of them were
strikes and
kind
you're
of,
out.
yeah. They
I get it. That
so like I
sucks. I
probably
hate
don't
that for you,
hold it
dude.
against them, but like yeah, those two sucked.
I
This
hate
last
that for
gaming
you.
night I just went to, outside of the two people just waiting on me to finish the prototype so we can play Gloomhaven. Um, there was like some weird store drama going on, and one of the people we were in our little game group, he was a part of the store, like he was one of the workers, and I guess one of the most popular ones. So the one that was having the issue was like using him as like a rock to like center herself. But then like the person who was causing her the problem came up as well. So there's a little blow up as I'm trying to give a teach to my prototype. And I'm like, I just want to leave at this point, but
Yeah,
I
like that
feel
does
like I'm
not help
locked in.
the at all like, the ambience of it. Ooh, forgot all
Yeah,
about
I
that.
just feel like I'm locked in, especially if I want these dudes to play test again. I'm gonna have to play a little bit of Gloomhaven. So like I was already like in that mindset, like fuck, I'm gonna have to play a game I don't want to fucking play just to be a good guy. And now this weird shit happened. And the dude I played with, he was a great play tester. I have really no gripes about him other than he really didn't talk much while the game was happening. But that's because he
Oh,
was
he's a
locked in.
thinker. Yeah,
He was locked in trying to break my game, which I really wanted. So
that's actually
like,
yeah. That's a good fucking. That's a really good playtester. You should invite that guy back every time you do that.
I mean, he was he seemed like he didn't get very much time off work. So like
Oh,
he very much went there to play an actual board game. So I was trying to get that feel from him as well. So I that's why I'm excited about tomorrow as well. But that was the most disappointing things recently is, it's hard to find good board gamers that match your personality.
I would say like I
Like,
wasn't really the best when I started out, but it did help because we had such similar personalities. At least when it came
yeah,
down
we're
to doing
friends.
that stuff.
Yeah, I'm playing
But
with strangers.
I gotta say, for me, the biggest disappointment recently, and anybody that games knows exactly what I'm gonna be saying, is Borderlands 4. It was such, it was such a saddening thing for them to do. Like I myself wanted to hype it up. I was like, I feel like they can't fuck this one up, but I didn't even buy it on my computer because I looked on the computer and it was just unplayable. Everybody was saying that if you didn't have like a computer from NASA, then you couldn't touch it. And then even on my Xbox, it looks worse than Borderlands 3. And the
I feel like
story
3 is
itself,
still relatively new. I feel like 3 came out when I was still with Crystal on
it did.
Campbell.
It did. That's what
That's
I'm saying is
relatively new. Like, why
yeah,
did they make another one?
it well because people didn't like Borderlands 3 for some reason. I liked Borderlands 3. Stupid as it sounds, I did. I actually found that as a serviceable video game. But for some reason people felt like that just left the Borderlands like feel way too much. But I also started on Borderlands 2. So I have no idea how the first one felt like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I
I've
guess
only
that might
played
make
the
me
first
biased.
one, and I've only played the first one when I was living with Crystal on the Campbell house. That's when I played the first one.
Saying I thought that it's a solid video game series, but for charging more for this fourth one and it to be unplayable on computer, to the point in which they're blaming the community for not
Ugh.
having top quality computers. I'm not shitting you. They really are. They're like, well, what do you expect? How do you get to run this game perfectly on launch when you have a fucking blah, 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 blah? But then Dying Like the Beast comes out. This beautiful video game runs perfectly day one. There was one
Let
problem
me,
I had with this game in that it was raining on the inside of buildings. I made a comment about this actually. I'm not shitting you. I made a comment on Steam and I screenshot and sent it to you. And it was
yeah, I
literally,
read that and I kind of didn't. I understand your point you're getting at, but it kind of just felt like a regular corporate response. Like we know of this problem and we are addressing it.
but that's awesome
And
because you know what they did do.
like,
I hopped on earlier today before we did this because I wanted to see if they fixed the website because the website was like crashing because so many people were trying to access it. And guess what?
yeah,
They fixed it. It was raining when I fucking hopped into the game, and I was like, let's see if if they actually fixed it. And I hopped inside of a building, no rain. They fixed it day two. Or day three I should say. No wait, no, it was day two. Day two they fixed that. Or no, no, it was day three. I'm sorry, I'm stupid. I'm stupid. Day three. I deleted my first
yeah.
save because I wanted to stream it for YouTube.
This is where I would just harken back to the Borderlands problem. Borderlands is owned by Gearbox, and Gearbox is kind of just a lame cash cow. So it
Smitty,
doesn't surprise me that Borderlands has went down this tube.
and it's saddening. It's saddening to see. You hope for the best, but you just don't get it sometimes. And they didn't give it to us. And they charged us more for it, which will definitely hurt them when they try to do Borderlands 5 or any kind of other game. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna have to do a lower price for us to trust them again. We're not gonna do a
Um,
$75, $100 game if it's gonna be Borderlands 4 over again. But also,
I
Smitty,
know.
it's about time to end this thing. It's about an hour and
Let,
20 something.
let me hit this last point, and I'll hit
Go
the
ahead.
outro. It goes with yours.
Say, 'cause I got
I know
this thing here calling me.
Gearbox
You see it?
is just trying. I'm just trying. I know Gearbox is trying just to attain IPs that produce them money. That's all what these publishing companies try to do. They want an IP that produces them money, therefore they can just sell the IP later when it gets super popular, like when Disney wants it.
Oh,
You
dude,
know,
yeah.
that's how the IP
Even
trade
the movie
works.
flopped.
And Gearbox also recently acquired one of my favorite IPs. They completely fucked up the first expansion that they did and made a rope map and fixed everything, and it's now one of the best expansions for the game. So I do have slight hope for Gearbox, only because my bias, they have one of my favorite IPs now. So
No.
that and this newest roadmap that they're putting out, well, they're not having put it out a roadmap. They announced another expansion for this IP, and they brought on the original developers of the game. So hopefully this expansion will be the best expansion, and then Gearbox will just put all of its focus into this IP for its main IP.
Makes sense.
When it, yeah,
No, you're not
but
wrong. That makes sense.
other than that, we have been the Stumble Bums in Studio Bum Diggity. Thank you all for still listening. If you're still here, I've been your host, Smitty Schmittzilla. That's been your other host, Chugging the Twisted T, the Twisted G. MF.
Love y'all.
Um, love y'all.
Take it easy. Thank y'all for 50 views on the first video so far. And 10 subscribers. Amazing. Keep it up. Till next
And a
time.
few comments. Like and subscribe.
Pashowa.